Hey, what's going on, gang? How y'all doing today? Well, I don't know what time you're gonna be watching this. Maybe it might be morning, might be the evening, it might be the afternoon, it might be at night. But welcome to the Hot Minute Podcast with none other than your boy, Pat. Well, today is a solo episode, but it's gonna be a good one though. I promise. So before we get started, I definitely gotta give a shout out to K Love, spelled with two Y's. You can follow her on Facebook at Kayla Turner. You can follow her on Instagram at K Love Management. You get a chance to actually see all her work and everything she's been doing in the community and for herself as well, musically and whatever else she got going on. It's been amazing to see. Kayla, you are a gem, and I greatly appreciate you coming on the podcast and dropping some of them gems onto the people. We had a very impactful and meaningful conversation like we always do, even outside of just what you say on the podcast. So every time me and Kayla get together, we talk about a lot of stuff and talk about ways how we can help our communities, or specifically Fort Pierce community. And I really hope that from this conversation that we had on the first episode of being my first guest on episode 2 of the podcast, some people are able to take some of these talking points and use them in their everyday life, because that's what it was really meant for, is to share and help you, guide you throughout your day and daily journey also. But yeah, it was definitely a pleasure, Kayla. I look forward to seeing whatever else you got going on in the future, well, the near future, because I know you got some stuff coming up your sleeve like you always do. You're such a brilliant mind. I definitely gotta let you know that. It's greatly appreciated that you came, that you wanted to be my first guest. And yeah, thank you. And don't worry, we got a lot of more other guests coming on. We got some interviews coming up soon down the pipeline with some more friends, eventually with some family members. And we'll be doing some remote episodes as well. So look out for those too, man. It's gonna be dope as well. With a lot of people, you'll get a chance to get to know these people personally, outside of what you see on social media. This is what this podcast really developed for us, just to share people's everyday life. And I want to always have an open invite to people. I want to give an open invite to people who want to come on and let the people know what they're doing in the community or what they try and do personally. So it's always going to be a good time on the pod. So don't think it never will be. So yeah. Hey, so listen, I talked about this earlier on my IG last week. Shout out to the entire Treasure Coast. Had some really good football. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch none of it because the brother had to work. You know how it goes. But I want to give a huge, major shout out to Vero Beach High School. What they did last weekend when they hosted a whole kickoff classic event. They had schools from other cities come and play games at their stadium. Something that has never been done in the history of Vero. It was a very successful event. I had friends telling me about that they couldn't even get in the actual door. It was like 8:30 at night and people were still trying to get in on a Friday night. And then Saturday they had 2 games, really impactful games with some really dominant programs. So definitely shout out to Vero. But I wanna say one thing though. Listen, kickoff classes have always been meant to be just matchup games, just to see where you might match up with competition. I know we have spring ball games, but most spring games are played to just to see how well everybody's been progressing as a team. But now when we talk about a kickoff classic, we're talking about playing against competition. So Vero tied with the team that they played. I hear a lot of people say they was complaining about that, but you gotta understand, this game doesn't count at all. So what you're getting is a first look at what you think could possibly be the start of great season for these guys because you get to see how well you match up against your competition. And in that aspect, what I want to say is that some teams perform, sometimes some teams didn't perform as well as they thought they would have. So now it's time to go back to the drawing board, really, and work on the little things, the intangibles that need to be fixed, and hopefully it'll be the better start for a season for you. Sometimes seeing these games, kickoff classic games, especially against competition, you get to see what your full weaknesses are and what your strengths are and what you can build off of. So for anybody who might feel like these games are meaningless, they're not meaningless. They actually mean a lot for those teams that's playing, because now they have a fresh start to see what they need to work on against competition and how they can actually build up what they already started. So shout out to every team on the Treasure Coast. They actually had a kickoff game. Whether you win or whether you lost, just remember, these games are only meant to help you get better. So, and it don't count. Like I say, if you got an L, you just got an L that night. But it is what it is. It happens, man. No team is perfect, and you just gotta work towards a goal to get better. That's it. Well, let me share my little story about my very, very, very short football career. But I'm gonna use this as a lesson for a lot of people and a lot of athletes, especially the kids that's in school now, even the young kids too. So as I was saying, playing football, I go into high school, I played football and in the backyard playing pot warmer, travel ball, or everyone call it recreation ball. So I get to high school, man, I'm thinking everything gonna be super duper, I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna ball out. But mind you, I'm a little fella, I'm like literally 5'3". But anyways, so I get out there and do my thing for the summer, but some things kind of happened that summer that kind of put a halt on my summer. But as going to the season, right, I'm thinking I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna ball out, and especially during practice, once we get actually started in school. I played JV. Of course, everybody got started on either freshman or JV, but we only had JV squad. So at the end of the day, is what it is. So I get out there practicing. I think I'm practicing well. First 2 games, I ain't get no play. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I don't even know I'm even here. I should just stop now. I really came out here to play with my friends. Like, I knew I wasn't gonna never really make it no well in football. I was more academics. I just played football because my friends played. But anyways, so this is where it get real at. So it's the 3rd game of the season. I think it might have been homecoming or something, like whatever it was. So coach come to me at the beginning of the week. Hey man, you practice hard, man. You might start. I'm like, oh yeah? I said, what's time? Yeah, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm practicing hard, I'm running hard, running through all drills. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show that I can start. Well, it didn't work out like that, unfortunately. So it come game day or whatever, right? Here I am. Well, actually, in the locker room, thinking, oh boy, I didn't practice so hard, but I'm finna start this game. Wrong. Well, we playing, right? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I get in the second half, maybe I get in the second quarter. Now we blowing this team out. I can't remember who team it was, but we blowing them out. So it's like 21-0, something like that, something crazy. I can't remember. So I'm just sitting on the sideline. Everybody, you still got the starters in. So I said, "Hey, coach, man, you think I'm gonna get in?" He said, "I don't know yet." I said, "Well, I tell you this." I said, "If I don't, I'm out of here." He said, "Well, do what you gotta do." I said, "All right, cool, no problem. I got you." Well, I ain't gonna lie. Really shouldn't have said that, but emotions sometimes, bro. I'm gonna speak on that too, but just give me a second to get there. So, brother, like, man, I'm out here in my head. I'm like, bro, I'm out here to just sit the bench, bro. And we couldn't even sit on the bench. This is the crazy thing about it. We had to stand up with the whole team because it was
all one being one side.
Anyways, so like I say, we blowing this team out. It go halftime, but I still ain't played. I ain't got a speck of dirt on my jersey or nothing. So in my mind, I already made my mind up, bro. Get in the locker room, coach and them about to start talking. I said, hey, coach, before you get started,
I quit.
And man, it set up a chain reaction, bro. I kid you not. Like, everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. The coach trying to tell me I'm making a mistake. I ain't making no mistake. I'm like, man, it's time for me to go, man. Y'all playing with me. So, they go back out second half. And I come out, but I don't come out dressed out. I don't come out in, my football gear. I come just dressed in my regular clothes, man. Everybody in the sidelines looking at me like I'm crazy. Even the varsity players, they're looking like, man, what's going on? I said, no, I quit. Man, them folks looked at me like I was crazy, man. So, anyways, after the game, coach pulled me to the side, man, and told me that, I shouldn't have did that, and I should just tough it out. But I just couldn't, man. I just couldn't. But I want to say one thing, though, too. Remember, wait your turn. Because the moment you let your emotions get the best of you, man, you might mess up and that you might actually lose your opportunity. I'm going to say why. So, after I'm sitting on the sidelines, right, it's second half, like I say, they let the next man up, man, get in, and he balled out, man. Dude had about over 100 yards and a touchdown. I was supposed to be the next man up. Like I said, I practiced hard that week. But I messed that up because I let my emotions get the best of me. And I ain't, I didn't cherish the time I spent out there on that field doing what I should have been doing, being more disciplined, more level-headed, and understand it just ain't my turn. So I use this story to say, enjoy your time on that field, embrace whatever's coming, and learn to be patient and don't let your emotions get the best of you, man, because at the end of the day, coach is going to always know what he's doing. You're not. He's the coach for a reason. So, yeah, man. So all my young athletes out there, even the older ones who still playing ball or whatever, or some type of sport, remember what I'm telling you now, because your emotions, they can cost you everything. So never let your emotions get in the way of what you're doing out there on that field. Now, one of the best parts of the podcast is where I get to be a florist and give out flowers. And I have two people in particular that I would like to give their flowers to. First off, my family, Javon Green. Man, listen, I want to say I'm super proud of everything you're doing in the community. I've been watching from, you trying to organize toy drives, back to school stuff, and, giving out food in the community, which is really cool, man. We don't see it enough in our community sometimes. And I think you doing this is a wonderful thing, and it's going to have a very positive impact on our community. And I think more people will be more willing to do the things that you've done out of the kindness of your heart. So keep on doing you, man. And listen, I'm super proud of you, man. Like I told you last time I seen you, man. If nobody else is, I am, cuz. I am, for certain. So keep on doing you. Now, secondly, my next guy I want to give flowers to is Sean O'Dare. Sean O'Dare is a pillar in our community because some fact that he has started a foundation called the Sean O'Dare Foundation. Through this foundation, he hosts football camps where he brings in former football players, current football players, to train the youth in the community. And I think the wonderful thing about this is that letting these kids see athletes come and train them a little bit inspires them, gives them hope to actually, one day be where they are and give back to the community. So, Sean, thank you for everything you're doing for our community, man. I can't thank you enough, and keep on being the guy that you always been, the philanthropist, just an all around good person. And also, he has a scholarship for kids in high school under the Sean O'Fit Dare Foundation. So, yeah, definitely, man. Shout out to you, Sean, man. Appreciate you, bro. 100%. So now we've made it to the section of Real Spill. Let's get right into it, y'all. We're going to talk about consistency. I want you to ask yourself one question. What can happen if I stay consistent? Well, let's talk about it. Consistency is key to everything you do in life. Remember, the more consistent you are, the better you will become in your craft or your profession. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect, right? Well, that goes for consistency as well. Whether you're in a sport, maybe in a career, or even just the health journey, you have to find a way to stay consistent, because it's the only way you're going to be able to achieve the best version of yourself. But let's be real though, consistency isn't something that's just realistic sometimes, and it doesn't happen overnight. So you got to come up with some type of routine to keep you motivated and upbeat about what you're doing. So if you run in the morning, you need to set an alarm clock continuously every day to help you achieve your goal. Now, sometimes it's hard to stay consistent too, regardless of setting that alarm clock. But you gotta remember in the back of your mind, like, why did I start doing this, and what am I trying to achieve by staying consistent? So in that aspect, those are things you need to ask yourself when you get started on that journey of consistency, because consistency can take you a long way whether you know it or not. So anyways, back to the topic. What I want to talk about now, let's look at consistency on the creative side. I have two good friends, one by the name of Mike Frost, who goes by Shots by Frost on Instagram, and another friend by the name of Ralph Javon, who goes by Shots by Ralph on Instagram. Follow both of their pages. They do some magnificent work. What I want to say about these two guys is that they have found a way to stay consistent throughout everything, and because of their consistency, it's landing them big jobs with big brands and big name people in the industry. So the fruits they labor have really paid off for them because they stay consistent, or found a way to stay consistent. I'm sure it was hard, but they mastered that. So at the end of the day, you gotta understand, consistency is key to everything you do in life. And shout out to those two guys, man. They've done some very amazing work on the creative side, and I'm happy that I know them both personally enough to where I can look at their pages and see the growth day in, day out, and how consistent they stay with their work, and it motivates me to stay consistent. So definitely, man, shout out to you guys, man, for staying true to yourself and staying consistent, and also just being great individuals out here. And talking with you guys personally, you guys have motivated me 100% to stay where I need to be at. So once again, shout out to y'all. I want to leave you with this one thing. If you stay consistent, I promise you will and you can be rich and successful. But it's up to you to take that next leap in your career journey, whatever it is in your life. So until next time, peace.
Baby, what you do to me? Even though all this fucking ain't new to me.